guys, welcome to Show Crazy Place. So today I have Mr. FlavorSavor.
What's up?
Mr. FlavorSavor and I went to high school together, and I had no idea he also wanted to be a chef.
It all started with Mr. Gallardo's class.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
That's
good.
why I was like, oh man, you can make money doing this? So
That
I'm like,
was,
all right, bet. Let me see how it goes.
I was a cooking teacher for people listening. Um, so I came across your channel on YouTube, eating White Castle, and now you're doing vegan stuff. So what's kind of the idea behind what you're doing?
Well, the vegan is just solely just healthy dishes. You know, it's like a big movement with vegan, like going vegan, going plant-based, all these different diets. So I thought I could, channel in on some viewers with some vegan recipes. And not just that, but the main thing about me making vegan recipes is because I have colitis. So the doctor says, oh, if you do vegan for like a month, you reboot your system, this and that. So I like to every 6 months, maybe for 30 days, do like a clean diet, just to reset the whole body, the whole momentum. But not just that, but you could get really creative with vegan food. People think of it as just just vegetables and fruits in a bowl, but actually if you really think about it, like there's so many options that you can put together, and just like you would eat there's some dishes you wouldn't even know is vegan. I came across a few of them and I'm like, what is that? Is that meat?
Is that like the pulled pork one I saw you do?
Yeah, that
That
pulled
like
pork
that?
was actually, yeah, that was really good. um that was made with mushrooms. I was surprised. That's something that I could eat every day and not be like, oh, I kind of crave pork, like let me get some of that. So that was a good recipe. That's definitely one of my favorite vegan recipes to do. Right now I'm actually experimenting with the Beyond Meat. I don't know if you heard
Uh-oh.
about that.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about putting that in my body, to be honest with you. That sounds I'll wait 10 years and see who grows what, and then I'll try it out. Because I'll stick with the mushrooms, I guess. Those I
I
know are
totally
good for your
understand.
brain. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, it blows my mind how they could make stuff like that taste like meat and it's just made out of plants. It's
Yeah,
still
but
like,
like,
to this day I'm just like, how? Like who woke up one
how?
day was like, let me just put all this stuff together and make it bleed and taste like beef.
Yeah, that's probably not good for you. Like,
I mean, I read the nutritional label. It's like, I mean, everything out there that's packaged has some negatives to it, right?
yeah, which is like, so growing up, I had like terrible IBS. Like,
Okay.
would like, I think almost didn't graduate because not because my grades were good, but
Yeah.
I had too many absences. So they were
But
gonna,
because of that, right?
yeah, because of
It's
that.
hard. It's hard. I
Yeah.
mean, I have it right now, and it's like I work in like my day job. I work, in the OR. I'm in the healthcare right now, so it's really hard, and I travel all over the place, all over the hospitals across the nation. So it's like it's hard to balance a good diet. Like your body's rhythm is always off.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's always hard to, like I'm always on planes like different times. My timing is off, this and that, and it's like that's why I was like, all right, I need something else in my life. Like let me see what I can do on YouTube also. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm waiting for like my YouTube to be like make more money than what I'm making now as a regular job. Because honestly, I mean, yeah, I'm an essential worker, but I hate it. I hate it. It's like too proper for me. I'm a really goofy guy. You can't be goofy in the OR unless
Yeah,
you know
not the place to be goofy.
it's not the best place.
Oh my
And
god.
that's just me, as that's just my characteristic. Like I always need to find something funny, or like, just to like laugh. And you like in the hospital is not really a laughing place.
No. Well, not the OR.
It depends. It depends, you know?
It depends. But maybe you need to like be the person that goes to the children's hospital.
Like Patch Adams.
Yeah. Oh my god. But Noelle was playing with a flashlight over there. I just got distracted. Anyway. I forgot what I was gonna ask you.
Well, I want to know how you started after high school. Like, what was your journey?
Well, I always wanted to be a pastry chef. Well, not always. So, like, there were like a couple years in middle school where I was like, I'm gonna be the first female UFC fighter. But that didn't happen. That didn't work out.
Wow, so in middle school, you wanted to become a UFC fighter?
Oh, I got, because me and my brother Danny, we did jujitsu since we were 12, and I got made fun of so bad, like in middle school and stuff, because I was just like, I was excited. I won like the tournaments, like we were really good.
Yeah.
And actually, one of the next people I'm gonna interview is gonna be a female grappler, but
Oh, nice.
so, but because this is like off topic, but so my brother is still training in jujitsu and wants to open his own school. So he was like looking at jujitsu videos online, like he normally does, and he like found one from when I like first started,
Hmm.
like doing tournaments and stuff,
Oh, wow.
like on YouTube. And so I contacted the guy who had it up there, which it's cool, but it kind of sucks because I don't get any credit for like all those views. But so I was like, oh, can I interview you? And he's like, oh, why don't I like put you in contact with a female fighter to interview? I was like, oh, that'd be great. So that's what my next video is going to be on. But yeah, I wanted to. I was like all in, but it my mom wasn't really into that either. She didn't want her daughter to have like a busted
Yeah.
face, starving, trying to make it. And like when we were kids, Dana White was like, no girls in the UFC unless you want to be a ring girl. And I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Oh, look at it now. It's changed like
Yeah.
crazy.
But yeah, so but aside from that, I wanted to be a pastry chef. And then I went to the restaurant school at Walnut Hill College in Philadelphia for pastry because at the time it was the only college that had a bachelor's degree in pastry.
Mm.
So I wound up going there, graduated, worked in Philly for a while, went back to New Jersey, uh, tried to help one of Danny's friends open a food truck, and then I started a different job in New York, but it was like I did like mostly fine dining.
Mhm.
So like fine dining, like you burn out pretty quick.
Of
And
course. Yeah.
those people are so underpaid and like
Yeah. I
you
mean, the whole
go
industry is, unless if
yeah,
you go into business on yourself, like that's why I'm here at this point in my life. Like I've been through so many cuisines and restaurants, and I'm just like, I don't know if I want to be here. Like I'm not learning nothing. Like honestly, if you're gonna work in the kitchen straight out of culinary school, you also want to learn from you know,
you just
like
cut
you
out.
want to.
What
I was
what did you
saying
say?
like if you after culinary school, like when
Yeah.
you get your first job in a nice restaurant, you want the chef to be your mentor,
Yeah.
and it's hard to find mentors like that nowadays. I've worked with a lot of chefs that are really dicks and assholes, and
I
I'm just
mean,
like,
yeah. I got
I mean that.
lucky, but but also like I had a lot of both. Mostly the women I worked under were very
Hmm.
good at
Hmm.
like taking you under their wing and teaching you.
Hmm.
But a lot of the guys were like mostly like that French mentality that you have to like
Yeah, yeah.
be an
I was
asshole.
like why?
And then the last one, that I worked under in New York was like, I remember like what really gave me the seeds, I think, for this kind of stuff was I was working there, and the person I replaced, they were like, it was like these, uh, the team was like maybe like 5 other pastry chefs. One of them
Hmm.
was like the sous chef, and they were all women, but the top guy was a guy, and like he's such an asshole. And I'm looking around, and I'm like, best case scenario, I get to be that guy. And then the girl I replaced had started her own food blog or lifestyle blog or something, and they're in there and they're reading this post, and she's like, "I'm so happy I quit that fucking job," like just trashing on the place, and I'm like, "Do I really want to work here?"
Yeah, you gotta
Oh
listen to
god,
the reason why people leave is things like that, and you gotta know that before you take a job, like, because you just regret it, and this is a waste of time too overall.
yeah, but yeah. So then I started teaching, um, and it was just kind of like the same thing. Like everywhere I went, like I would kind of like put my heart into something, and
Hmm.
then because I didn't own it, it was just like, ripped away from me, or I wasn't
Oh,
fairly compensated for it. So then I decided, I was like, how do I live my life like Anthony Bourdain? And I
wow.
was like, international flight attendant. And then I became a flight attendant, and while I was a flight attendant, I wrote a book on cooking with marijuana.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
a dope book.
thanks. And then I got fired from both my jobs because COVID happened, and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
nobody's traveling. Nobody needs cooking lessons." But now I'm just doing
You could
it.
do you could start like there's like virtual cooking classes.
Yeah, and I
So,
saw that
you know,
Facebook just started a thing where you could host events. So if anyone's interested in that, comment it below.
I bet there's a lot of people out there.
Because I
It's
saw
like
some
it's like
things, but
it's like a date night at in your own kitchen, you know?
yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's not a bad idea.
You don't have to drink and drive, so that's good.
Yeah, just stay there, stay in the kitchen.
Yeah, but I feel like most of the time when I did those kinds of cooking lessons, you wind up doing most of the cooking because the people are so drunk.
Yeah. How
Uh,
long did you do that for?
it was only like 3 or 4 months because they had opened Sur La Table in West Palm Beach,
Hmm.
and they're actually closing at the end of the month because of COVID. They just opened like right before Christmas, like actually right after Thanksgiving, like Black Friday was like their
Hmm.
first big weekend. And now like brand new everything, brand new kitchens. Um, well, that was my most recent teaching job. Before I was teaching at Eva's Village in Patterson, um, to help people like have a skill to get back on their feet.
Hmm.
But then they they decided to make a cookie and brownie business to get the students like jobs and give money back to the
Yeah.
school. But it just like pretty much all fell apart. I don't know. I don't really know what happened, but it was really disheartening because my students, they were recovering, they're in recovery and stuff, and I think some of them are doing well now, but like at that time, like most of them went back on drugs because they had
Yeah.
just started making a living, and then you ripped everything
Hmm.
away from them. So
Yep.
that was really hard. But then I became a flight attendant.
Did you travel a lot? I know you get the free flights.
um, you don't get, so I was working for Norwegian, which is
Okay.
not part of like the American Airlines.
Hmm.
So it's not like the same thing. Like we had like ID travel where you could bring like someone with you. Like they still
Oh,
charged you
oh,
money
okay.
for it,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like I could go on any airline or whatever. But I did get a couple cool trips, and I mean I got to see like Spain. I got to go to Scandinavia. I got to go to Thailand at the very end of it.
Oh,
It's
I
just
I bet that
amazing.
street food would hit different once you see it in person.
Well, so my last trip, I'm like really, really allergic to shellfish, so
Oh
I had to
no.
stay away from the seafood. But my last trip was in March, and coronavirus everywhere
Ruin
else.
everything.
Everywhere else. But since February, I was watching coronavirus in the news outside of America, and I was going, why isn't America doing anything about this? And even like I brought masks with me and stuff because my mom's a nurse practitioner. Like, I know how
Yeah.
this shit works. so so people thought I was like crazy. Like, I'm like, no, 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 no. Like, we're in Asia. Like, and Thailand at the time had like the second most, like the second highest amount of infected people, besides China. And we
Mhm.
were flying there, and nobody was testing us. Like, I got tested once going into Thailand. Coming out, nobody cared. And like when I got home, I was like, I don't feel so good. And I was sick.
Did you
And
catch it?
I tried to get tested, and it was before they figured out like what they were doing. So I went to the
Yeah.
hospital. I basically sat in like a decontamination shower for like 3 hours until they finally decided to test me for influenza and strep. And they said if that came back negative, they test me for corona. They both came back negative, and they never sent it out to get tested for corona. So I would never
Wow.
fucking know. I was like, you just
That's
wasted $300 for my insurance for nothing. Like,
yeah.
motherfuckers.
I actually caught it back in I would say May. When
May.
in May. Yeah, I was in the hospital for a week.
I thought you just got over it now. You got it back in May?
No, I got this is my colitis has been acting up because I've been
Okay.
eating really like just shitty. Like I mean, when I'm traveling, the company gives you money to get some food, so why not go and explore? It became a really bad habit. So I got sick from that. But back in May, I caught the corona when I was working at the hospital, and then like the next day, like the next 2 days, like my fever went up to 105.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh my God, this is it? Like, I didn't even get to like, I didn't even get to travel or nothing. Like, I didn't
I
get to
didn't
do
even
all
make
this,
money off my YouTube channel yet.
right? I didn't even become famous yet. Come on. So then I went to the hospital and they're like, yeah, man, you got corona. And I was like, so what does that mean now? They're like, you got to go upstairs. Like, we got to keep you here. So I was isolated for a whole week. And it was the most craziest like experience because like you can't leave, nobody could come see you. And this was like during the week of Mother's Day. So on Mother's Day I was in the hospital. I didn't even spend time with my mom. Like it was weird. The only person I got to talk to was whoever nurse was coming in and out and whoever is taking my order for food to bring up to the room.
Oh
Those are
my
like my only
God.
two people besides having my phone.
And did you have to
It was
pay for like all that time in the hospital?
thank God. You know how much that bill was? It was $230,000 for 6 days in the hospital for Corona. Two
Wait,
hundred two
do
hundred
you have to
thirty
pay
thousand
it?
dollars.
Do you have to pay it?
No, no, no. My insurance covered it. But
Holy shit.
I asked the nurse. I'm like, hey man, like if somebody doesn't have insurance, like nobody has $230,000 like a normal person just laying around. And like, well, that's where the government comes in. They pay for it. So I'm like, all right, now this all sounds so fishy. Like they couldn't cover 100%. So why not? Why not just make every patient be like Corona here, Corona there? You got Corona, you got Corona. That's all that money coming into the hospital. So why not just check off the box and be like, yeah, you got Corona, bro.
Yeah, but even if you like, to me, I really think we should have universal health care. Like, I think it's ridiculous
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
so
I
to
mean,
like even like I had to pay $300, which was I don't know, like a portion of it, you know,
yeah. Was it like a
which
urgent care or
no, it's a hospital, like the actual
okay?
hospital, because I had gone. That was another thing. Like I had gone to like I went to urgent care. They're like, we don't test for that here. Call this hotline. The hotline was like, go to urgent care. So I went to a different urgent care. They're like, no, we don't do that there. Go to the hospital. I go to the hospital. Finally, I see like this big table set up that's in like the like area between like the two main doors. And it's like, if you think you have corona, come here. And then 3 hours later, you're gonna tell me you don't even have the fucking test. Like,
You go
what?
through the whole process.
Yeah, and then it's like pay me $300. I'm like, what? So I was just like, and if you don't have insurance, what are you gonna do? And also,
Yeah,
if you don't have insurance, you're not gonna go to the hospital, and you're gonna
exactly.
get everybody else sick. So
I'm down with universal health care.
yeah,
The doctors I work with are not.
well, I'm sure they would get paid differently. But I mean, they still have, like, even I got sick once when I was in London flying. I had a ear infection, and it's like very dangerous to fly with an ear
Oh,
infection.
yeah.
So I went to the hospital there, and like in New Jersey, you still wait like 4 hours to get into the, for the doctor to see you. Same thing there, except I didn't have to pay for it. They like didn't know what to do because I wasn't like from England. So they're like, I don't think we're supposed to treat you because like you don't pay taxes here, but here's some antibiotics. So it was just like, it's not like for the customer, it's not a really big change. Like, and they still have private hospitals there if you want to be a rich person and like, I don't know, have like champagne brought to your room or whatever the fuck you do. If you're a rich
Is
person.
so like the antibiotics they gave you, did you have to pay for it, or like was it like expensive compared to here in the US?
I was like, I think it was like £3 maybe, which was like $5. Or I don't even know. Maybe that might have been something less than that. I had to get the prescription filled, and it was like a different medicine. It was like this stuff I had to like squirt in my ear, like because I'm just used to like take some
Yeah.
antibiotics, but it worked. It was cool. My mom's like, those are the good drugs. You get better. You better receive those. But yeah, but then I could fly. But it was uh it was really complicated when we went over there because at the same time I had an ear infection, there was this other girl who I don't know what happened to her. It sounded like she cracked her rib in turbulence, like she hit a chair or something. Which is why you always gotta wear your seatbelt.
Yeah, of
She
course.
wasn't like she was just in like so much pain, like just crying. And she went to the same hospital. Like I just saw her in the waiting room. I was like, I know you. So I was talking to her, and they wouldn't treat her because she needed an X-ray. And that was the thing. You had to wait like 4 months to get an X-ray if you didn't have like private insurance.
Wow.
But then they took her. Luckily, one of the other crew members was Irish and understood how the system worked over there. So he like, actually that guy's a nurse now, but he got her all situated. That was good.
Awesome.
But anyway,
So what made you start doing YouTube videos?
I wanted to do it before COVID as like a totally different channel with like the travel and the food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but that didn't happen. And then I was really like when I like lost, I was literally like sick and like in between figuring out if I had COVID, I lost my job like all in the
Yeah.
same week.
That's a lot
So
to take in.
I was like, a lot of it had to do with like, I need something to do so I don't go insane. But,
Exactly.
and then it was, I need something to do so I don't go insane. shit, how am I gonna pay my rent? Okay, how do I save as much money as I possibly can? And that part was, um, like, just bringing in the food budget because for most Americans, like, your phone bill is gonna be your phone bill, your rent's gonna be your rent.
Yep.
Pretty much the only places you can save are your food costs and maybe, like, your electricity, like, hot water type
Mhm.
thing, but that's not usually, like, a crazy
Yeah.
bill, what, like, air conditioning is, but
Yeah.
so I was like, "Alright, well, if I'm gonna need to do this, like, everyone's gonna need to do this." So then I started my
Exactly.
channel, and then, like, further down the line, I was like, after working for so many other people and doing all that stuff, like, I wanted something that's my own, you know? So, like, this can be my own brand, and it's kind of like job security because hopefully no one can take it away from me but myself. So
Exactly.
once it starts to make money, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
I mean, that's the one thing that I didn't do is be consistent. I mean, to begin with, I didn't even do it to like actually do it like every week. I just did it like, I was like, hey, I quit my job when I lived in Milwaukee, right? I hated that hospital up there. I was like, I gotta get out of here. Like, what am I doing in Milwaukee?
Yeah, what's the
It's like, oh,
Milwaukee?
like what the hell am I doing up here? So like the whole drive back home, I'm like, what can I do? Like, I hate my job. I hate healthcare. I got stuck into it. I need to leave. Like, let me think about something. And I'm like, let me make a video. I need to just so I have it for the future. I can show my future kids like, hey, this is what I did. So I did that, and then like I made a few of them, and then like one of them, the chicken over rice, like took off. I was like, whoa, there's people actually like think that I'm funny and actually make my food. I was like, I might as well just like really think about doing this full time. So at this point, I'm really and once Corona hit, I'm like, yo, everyone is home. The restaurants are closed. People need to learn how to cook at home. They don't want to keep getting takeout or Uber Eats or they're not going to do
They're
that every
not gonna be
single
able to
day.
afford it. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is especially the time for anyone that has a special skill or a hobby to really like, put down all their effort on it and actually make it into something during this
Oh,
time.
yeah. I
It's
mean,
like it's a given. You know,
I've been,
everyone needs to start their own business. Everyone needs to be their own boss.
that's
'Cause
true.
I'm tired of working for other people, I swear.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they open up a lot of opportunities too. Like I had companies reach out to me to like use their products in a video or like sell products, test products, eat products. My favorite thing to do is eat on camera. I'd rather eat on camera than cook, to be honest.
Oh, what's that word where it's just the people eating?
Like
It's
critiquing
that
or
no, it sounds like it should be a dirty word in a different language, but it's like you
oh
just sit there and you like eat in front of the
oh
camera.
it's mukbang.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Mukbang.
When I the first mukbang video I saw was this girl eating a pickle, like a giant pickle like this big. I'm like, and the microphone's right here, and she just put it in her mouth, and she's just chewing on it. I'm like, how the hell does she have over 2 million views of eating a pickle? Like the things you could do to like change your life on YouTube. It's like the possibility is crazy.
I'm growing some
Like
cucumbers on my patio. Maybe.
and that's crazy. Just people eating. Like it's like, what do you do for a living? Oh, I just eat on a microphone on camera. Make thousands of dollars every video.
Oh my god. I'll let you know how it goes. Oh my god. So, are you gonna do any more White Castle, or are you just sticking with the food?
Oh no.
Is White Castle
So
open?
it should be.
I feel like people.
That was the only time I went to. That was the last time I went to White Castle. I just wanted just to try that burger. I was like, I have to try it. Like people talk about it. I saw in the news, like I have to go there and try it.
I
And that's
know.
how I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And that was when it first came out, where it took like almost 20 minutes to cook it. And then now they like changed the formula and all that, got all scientific on it. And now they're selling it at grocery stores, and I have like a whole freezer packed with it. So this whole week so I'm recreating my chicken and rice video, but vegan style. So it's gonna be vegan gyro over rice with a
Okay.
vegan white sauce. And I wrote out the recipe last night, and I'm really excited to film it tomorrow. So that's gonna be interesting. Hopefully it comes out really good.
I saw you in the other video, and you were doing the Guy Fieri bite. I was wondering if you knew that you were doing it. You were doing the. I was like,
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. I like his style, you know.
yeah, you
I like
gotta get the
I
tips
like
though.
yeah.
Oh my
Nah,
god.
I just though I like his vocabulary too. On top of that, his vocabulary is the best. Just the random stuff he says.
Yeah,
It's like
I used
him.
to.
I like him. I like Rachel Ray. Rachel Ray. I like her concepts, like her 30-minute meals. Like I'm all about like the 20-minute, 30-minute meals you could just whip up real quick. Because not everyone's a French chef, you know. Not everyone's gonna be like, you know, cutting their carrots like all precisely and doing all this technique. Like they just want to throw things together and make it taste good and call it a day. You know, go to sleep.
Yeah, and I just like that's what I try to focus on because I am classically French trained, and
Yeah, you have really nice technique. Like I'm not there. Like I didn't finish culinary school. I dropped out. I was like, how much do I owe after I graduate? Over 100,000?
yeah. So another reason why I
I
gotta
just
make money.
I'll finish this year and I'm good. I think I'll go find a job after this. I'll take the
But
basic classes.
yeah, that's all you need though. But it's like, when it comes to like knife skills and stuff, you don't even need to look nice. It's like I'd rather teach like the concept of why it has to be there, you know?
Yeah,
So like
at least have the reason behind it.
it doesn't need to look pretty, but they all gotta be the same size. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
So this way they cook at the same rate. Like there's
Yep.
certain things that it's like don't focus so much on the precision, focus on
Hmm.
like why it needs to be that way, and then you can decide with like what you're doing if you need to put in that technique or not, you
Hmm.
know? Or there's a lot of things like soups and stuff where it's literally like the same steps over and over again and you're just switching out the ingredients. And it's like
Exactly.
so once you learn how to make one soup, like you know how to make all the soups.
Yep.
Like you're
Just
done.
get that. You just need the broth. Once you get your broth done, I mean, it's up to you what you want to do with it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Once you know
That's
it,
like your start. That's your starting point. Once you make your broth, all right. From there, it's like, gotta make it creamy. You're gonna just keep it light or what? You can't really mess up a soup.
yeah. And you could put like everything in it.
You can
Like
put you can put your whole pantry in there.
yeah, that's usually what I do. soup,
Those
soup
are
and
those are my
egg.
yeah. I mean, I have my lazy days where I just throw everything in an instant pot, just press a button. Like I just eat this with rice. Whatever comes out of this instant pot, I'm good with it.
I think I don't even know if the Instapot I have is like the real Instapot or if it's like they made a bunch of things that weren't like the original Instapot.
They Yeah, they all do the same job. It's like the air fryers. It's like, all right, how many air fryers are out there? I remember the first air fryer I bought. This was like when it first came out, like the really big one. It was big. It was like twice the size of my microwave. And I
Oh
bought it.
shit.
I was in Denver for like a work conference, and it was late at night. And obviously, Denver. So I ate some cookies, and just sitting there on the bed. And I'm like, whoa, you can fry with air? No
You could
way.
fry with air.
3 papers of $39.99 and I get free knife set with it? Hell yeah. I was like, boom, 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 let me buy it. So then I bought it and it came in and I was like, whoa, this is way too big. Like it takes up the whole kitchen. And then I was like, I made fries and I made chicken wings. And I'm like, it's not really worth it. especially when it's gonna take up half my kitchen. Like it's almost half the size of my oven. So I was like, I'm returning this. This is just such a dumb, like, impulsive buy. And I returned it, and then they kept on calling me back saying, "Oh, we'll like give you a discount if you just keep it." This I'm like, no, I was like, get this shit out of my house. I'm returning this. I was like, can I keep the knife? They're like, yeah, you can keep the knife. I was like, word.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah. And
My
then
mom has an air fryer. She loves it.
Yeah. So now it's like there's so many. I mean, just a basic one where you could fit like, I mean, like 3-4 servings of like chicken wings or chicken, or it's like, enough for 3 or 4 people. The one that pulls out, I think you're golden with that.
I think that might be the one she has. I've actually never used the air fryer before.
It's the one that you pull out and pull back in, like those are nice. I like those. They're just simple and quick. I don't have one because my oven is conventional and it has the fan. That's what pretty much it is.
Convection.
So it's just spinning the hot air around. That's what it's doing in the air fryer. So I'm like, they just like, there's just so much random shit out there. And they try to get people that just like you see the commercials, the infomercials.
They're like gadget people. Like I hate gadgets. I hate things that only do one thing. Like your oven could be an air fryer, an oven, a slow cooker, like everything. And it usually comes with your house.
Yeah.
Like so I don't.
I would say the only thing I have in my kitchen that I had for almost 15 years is the Nutribullet.
The blender?
The blender. That is the only thing that lasted for 15 years. I would say that whoever made that, that's like, it's like you get a little one, you go puree stuff in, and then you got the big one, and then that's it. And it still lasts till this day. But I mean, I have my Vitamix. And I use I love my Vitamix. Yeah, I love that. And then I also have a KitchenAid bowl that's still in the box. I haven't used yet because I'm not a baker. I'm not a baker, so it's like I don't know what to do.
Yeah, but you could use it with so many other things.
Like, I have to do a video on just the random stuff I have that I haven't opened yet. I have to start giving them out. Like a free giveaway. Oh, here's a knife set for you. Here's a KitchenAid bowl for you. I'm not using it.
Oh my god, that's not a bad idea though. But I can't believe you never used a KitchenAid. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
those are worth like.
I failed baking 101 2 times. Yeah. Your reaction is like, how? I'm like, because first of all, the pastry chef that was teaching the class definitely hated me. Because the reason why he hated me is because when you measure out, you know how baking, everything is precise, right? The measurements.
I want to say that is not true. Like it's true. It's true to like a certain extent.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's about like ratios and like obviously if you're dealing with something like in small measurements, right? Mm-hmm. Like baking soda or something. Yeah. You don't want to be like crazily like just taking like a heaping tablespoon of that. But like if it's like kind of like correct and you level it off or you don't level it off, like it's not going to be a huge difference, you know.
So this is what happened. So like it was like the second day of class, and you know those big things that like you put weight on one side and you put your flour and it has to level out.
That's a scale. It's an old school scale. Yeah.
Yeah, like in science class back in middle school. So. But the teacher is using a digital scale. Like, bro, it's 2009. Why the hell am I measuring shit with a weight? Like, can I use the electric like thing that you got? And that took 2 seconds, and what I'm doing is taking 20 minutes, bro.
That is bullshit. Well, you went to the
I raised my hand. I'm like, why we, bro? It's 2009. Like, why are we still weighing shit like back in the 70s? Like, no, dude.
Yeah, so I don't want to do that. All that money for tuition, and you can't afford digital scales. Because we had springform scales, which is
Okay.
kind of like a step up from like this weight thing.
Yeah, like I'm talking about putting those like kilogram weights. Like I'm like,
Oh no,
there's like a whole set. It's like this big, like
yeah.
heavy as. And then I still don't know why we're using that. Like, why are we? Why can't we use a digital scale, bro? Like, let's use technology.
I mean, I think like it's good to have just to like learn how to do it once, but if you have to use that with like every class, like get out of here. Like we had
Yeah,
that when we worked like bread station and we had because we had like a big one. So
okay.
we used it for that. But like you they have digital scales that like weigh planes. So I think we can find one that will weigh 30
Yeah,
pounds of
and I
flour.
think yeah, and he hated me after like the second day. Like everyone agreed with me, and I guess he didn't like that. And I was just being like, I wasn't trying to be a smart ass. I was just being like honest, like, dude, why are we still?
Yeah, why are we
Let's
still
move
using
up.
it?
Let's move up in the world, yo.
Yeah. It's kind of the dark ages.
So yeah, all my muffins came out flat. Like my bread sucked. Like it was bad. That's how I don't bake. The only thing I'll bake is cookies, brownies, and maybe a cheesecake.
Yeah, but I feel like if the if you're using scales from like when Jesus was born, the baking soda is probably that old too, so maybe it wasn't your fault. Like that's like I'm sure like your baking soda was like over like 6 months old, so nothing wrong.
Yeah, I was at the point where I didn't even want to weigh it. I just eyed it. I eyeballed it. I was like, oh, that all right, boom. That looks like 3 cups. It's not, it's like it's not like cooking like a dish where you could just like you ever cook Indian food? It's like there's no measurement. Like nobody gives you a precise measurement.
Oh, Indian food is something I really want to learn like
Yeah, and
better.
it's hard. Yeah, and the thing is with Indian food, if you go in any Indian restaurant, any Indian chef, they're not. If you ask them, oh, how much do you put? They're not gonna be like 2 tablespoons. No, they don't know. They
No, they
just
don't
kept
know.
doing it. It's
It's
just
like trying
repetitive.
to, yeah, it's like trying to ask your Italian grandma like how to make something.
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense. So you have to like go and do it with them and like learn
Yeah,
it that way.
and then
But
just keep banging it out. Just keep doing it over and over again until you get it right.
yeah, that too. But yeah, ever since I saw today's special, I don't know if you ever saw that movie. I was like, I gotta learn. I gotta learn about this.
Yeah, was that the one where the older guy was teaching him? He brought the spice rack out.
Yeah, he brought
He's
like all
like,
these types of spices and like
yeah,
he was
yeah, I
supposed to
saw
like
that. That
smell
was a
them
good
and like
movie.
it was underrated, I feel like.
It was. That was definitely a good movie. I like that movie. I like a lot of cooking movies. Like Chef was definitely one of my favorites.
Oh my God, I love the soundtrack too, man.
Yeah.
I listen to Gary Clark Jr. like all the time now. Like that's where I first heard him. I was like, this guy's amazing.
And then after that movie came out, I went straight to New Orleans like right after I watched it.
Oh,
I was like,
so
well, I gotta
lucky.
go. Yeah. New Orleans is definitely one of my favorite food places to go just to eat. Like you can't if you like Creole Cajun food, seafood. I know you probably can't go because you're highly allergic to shellfish.
Yeah, but I really want beignets, so I feel like
Oh my god. I got it at like 3 a.m. in the morning. There was a spot open. It was 24 hours. And literally the powdered sugar was in a big trash can, like those big like industrial ones, just straight powdered sugar. And they'll just fry the dough and just throw it in there. Close the lid and just shake it. Be like, here you go. I was like, thank you for the diabetes in that brown bag, bro.
that remind me of like I always went to like any street fair in Nutley or the Italian festival, they had Zeppelis.
Oh
And I
yeah.
just like imagine them to be and like shaking the bag full of powdered sugar was
Yeah.
like about the whole
It's the best.
experience. So I just
Yeah.
imagine it to be like that, but like even better because you're in New Orleans.
And
So
it's humid. It's so humid down there. So that powdered sugar just turns into straight like clay from the humidity.
oh wow.
So I'm just like
Oh,
I'm like literally eating like a glob of powdered sugar, and I was like, oh man, this is so good.
colitis. Oh my god.
But I actually did. So I actually have about 15 videos of travel videos of me eating, and I can't put any of them out because the one thing I should have learned is how to use a camera. Because every time I came back and like looked at the videos, I'm like, why? Like everything's blurry, like nothing is focusing, and I'm just like, I just did all that for no reason, and I did that 15 times, 15 different places that I traveled to
With a real camera?
with the
Or
real
your
camera.
phone?
Like
Wow.
I started with T5i Canon, I still have it, and then the GoPro, like the new GoPro 8, is amazing. But I want to get that new Sony, like the Sony ZV-1 or something like that. It's strictly made for YouTubers. Like it's like dumb simple and it's so crisp. It focuses everything. It's like 4K. So that's something I definitely need to invest in. Like it's
Yeah,
hard to know
the
like what
tech is
camera to
hard.
use. Yeah, and when I learned how to edit a video, I was like, okay, this is hard. I should have listened in high school. Like the two classes in high school was cooking class and the photography class. That is the only two classes to this day that I'm using skills in.
Me too. Because I took photography, digital photography, and I took yearbook too. And which, by the way, I was not one of the people that voted for that ridiculous yearbook cover. That was not me. I was I was not the majority vote on that one. But which for our listeners, it's jungle themed. I don't know why. Anyway, um, but yeah, digital photography, and which really helped me with yearbook when I wrote my book on the marijuana edibles, because I already like could translate the Photoshop to this program called InDesign, which is also owned by Adobe, and I guess they made after Photoshop since it was like 2009 we were learning that. But I the book I made, like I made everything. I'm down to the page numbers, like
Wow,
so
that's good.
it was just like, thank God I took that class. Like and then obviously cooking. Cooking really was like it was great because you got to take home the food from cooking class, but it was just annoying because our I remember being so annoyed because I got to my first cooking class like junior year because they wouldn't
Hmm.
let us be in the cooking class under junior year, they said. I was like, but I want
Yeah.
to be a chef. And I get to my cooking class and there's like freshmen and sophomores in it.
Who was your first teacher?
It was Gallardo. And
Yeah, he was so cool.
he's so cool. And then I had Huggins, and then
Yeah.
they made like this fake class where we kind of just like went and helped out the people in like the second year cooking class. Like we were kind of
Okay.
like teachers assistants basically, because I was
Yeah.
in like the first like AP class I ever got into was like statistics with Mr. Linfante. And it was like either stay in statistics or go to like cooking 3. And I was like,
Cooking
geez.
3.
Like everyone
I
else in
remember I only took one AP class. That was AP Environmental, I think. That was like the one class where I didn't learn shit in that class. All I remember is that day we had to take the AP test to get college credits. I sat down and I'm like, yeah, okay, let's close it back up. Like, I'm gone. Like, I don't think anyone in that class like passed. It
But
was
I'm sure you learned
Mr. Tag.
climate change is real.
He just put on a movie every single day. Like it was a movie, like National Geographic. Like these are mountains. Whoa,
These are
that's
mountains.
it.
Global warming. These are mountains.
It's like I don't like I said, photography and cooking class. And then I want to say I had to give I forgot his name, the guy that taught accounting. It was literally the same hallway as digital photography and culinary class. Like if you just keep walking down, his
Into the
classroom was on the
annex
left.
or no?
Yeah, no, not into the annex. Well, that accounting class was a college class. I failed it, but I learned a lot in that class just by like taxes. I learned like all this stuff that they don't teach in other classes. are like the most important thing in life to survive, like mortgage, taxes, like all these things that nobody knows about or
Yeah,
they don't want to
I
teach
wish
you.
that was mandatory. I wish that was
It
mandatory
should have been. Yeah.
because they framed like it was like a class, I think it was called like life skills, and the class
Okay.
was like framed as like the class that was for like the stupid kids who couldn't do more advanced math. And I'm like so like they made it like shameful to like want to take that class, and I feel like I should have really just like taken a good look at my guidance counselor, who's a fucking idiot, and been like,
Yeah.
I'm taking
I
life
totally
skills.
agree. Totally agree with you. I'm like, what
Like,
did I do? I just wanted like a roller coaster ride after high school. But I guess I mean now it's like, now it's like I really really want to like focus on this, like this is it. This is what I
yeah,
can do every day and not get bored or tired and be like, oh, I gotta get up to do this. Like,
exactly. And if
you
you're
know,
gonna start your own business too, though, like when it comes to those classes, like, I mean, right now it doesn't matter that much if you're not making any money. Once you start making money, like, you got to think about getting like an EIN. Do you want to be an LLC or do you want to be a sole proprietor? Like all this shit
yeah.
that like,
Well, I'll wait till that happens though. Like, I mean,
uh,
my channel is making money on YouTube, but it's not what I expected, you know. But then again, I'm not really putting out videos consistently every week, you know. That's
yeah,
one thing that you have to do it, or else you lose your followers. Like people lose interest, you know. People's minds are like, they're on one thing, and next thing you know, boom, they're over it, and they'll go to something else.
but I just
So
feel
it's like,
like it takes effort to unsubscribe to something. And I'm like, I get really like sad when I see people unsubscribe. I'm like, really?
yeah. And then TikTok actually, more people are on TikTok than YouTube. I noticed that. Like I noticed people that got famous on TikTok then went over to YouTube, and none of the people came over to YouTube. So I'm like, they have very low followers on YouTube, but on TikTok they're just like banking it.
I think
So
it's also that's like I feel like that's like a age difference too. And
yeah,
I'm just concerned about number one, I watched a lot of Joe Rogan about TikTok. And I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know about TikTok. Like, I don't need the Chinese government. Like, one thing is
Having all my
like
information.
the American government already knows everything, but like, I don't know if I want China using me as like a spy and like not knowing it. So, I'm kind of like no on the TikTok, but I'm also like, if they do shut it down, like, then it's a waste of my time, you know?
Yeah,
Uh,
all that the effort you put into it.
that's the only thing they're
I
not
mean,
making more of.
yeah. So I mean, like YouTube is definitely a gateway to not just make money off of your videos, but to sell things, like sell products. Like I'm working on my hot sauce. I work with a hot sauce company, and I'm like, damn, they're making this much money off selling hot sauce. Like I can do that. So I went out like the next day. I got 100 bottles from Amazon. I put my label on it. I did 2 batches, and I sent them out to like all my family, my friends, and they're just like, "Oh, you gotta make it again, gotta make it again." I'm like, "All right, this is something I
Send
could
me
get
some
into."
hot sauce, man.
I
I'll
got
use
you.
it in my cooking video. I'll be
I'll send you
like,
a care
Mr. Flavor
package.
Saver.
I'll send you a care package.
Yo, because I want to make a video on buffalo chicken dip. So
Ooh,
like, you need like a really nice hot sauce, like flavorful hot sauce for that.
yeah,
That's perfect.
definitely something like on the vinegar on the acidic side, or do you
Yeah.
want something more like on the like just straight sweating, like regretting taking a bite side?
No, no, I don't like regretting taking a bite because everything I make, I have to, because of my budget, I have to work into my actual diet. So I can't make it where I'm going, having
Yeah.
lava explosions in the bathroom all week.
Oh my God. I remember
None of that.
I posted a video on YouTube, do the death nut challenge where you eat, there's like 5 levels and there's a peanut that you eat, and like each level it gets spicier and spicier. I did that. Oh my! I had to take that video down. That was really bad. I
What?
came home that night. I finished it, and then I got home, and like a few hours later, I was debating if I should go to the hospital because I literally felt my insides like doing something that I wasn't used to, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I had to get the second one. So then I ordered 4 boxes of their second version of the Death Nut. So this is a video I'm working on right now. I'm just getting some bunch of my idiot friends to do it because I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna film it, but I'm not gonna do it.
Oh my
And
god.
then they sent me an extra 4 to give out after doing the video. So that'll be something cool to do with my fans.
Oh my god. Well, you gotta make sure it's like somebody else with a channel so they can film
Oh
it.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
affecting it. I'm not doing it. Maybe I could get Noel to do it. Probably not. He's too smart for that.
Yeah, it's spicier than the first box. So I was like, there's peppers in there I never heard of in my life. Pepper X. There's like some new pepper. There's always a new pepper, like every
Oh
year.
yeah.
Some mutated, like it's like wheat. It's like cannabis strains. You know, there's always something new that they put together. Like peppers and cannabis are the same. You know,
Well, and
you take two
tomatoes and everything.
tomatoes.
You just crossbreed them. I'm
Yeah.
learning. No, I got like really into I went down the rabbit hole in gardening world. In this whole thing. I got I got like a whole fucking forest on my patio right now. Like
Oh, really? So
it,
you all your produce is what you grew?
I'm trying. But I started growing my produce with like a New Jersey attitude when I should have, you know, thought about I'm not in New Jersey anymore. I need to
You're
grow
in
like I'm in Florida.
exactly. You got the sun there.
Yeah, so I started my tomatoes in um, like the beginning of the summer, which is like the worst time to do it in Florida because the summer is so hot.
Yeah.
And
When is like the best month to start?
it seems like you can grow them like anytime but the summer. I'm sure like I'm sure spring is probably better than fall because the days are I think are a little bit longer in spring than fall. I don't maybe
Okay.
they're the same, I'm not sure. But not the summer because it's so hot here that like they don't produce tomatoes. Like they have the little flowers and then they just die off. So I have like all these vines and everyone's like, "Wow, I love your plants. It's so great. How like you must be eating tomatoes every day." I'm like, no. But I got so much basil that it's kind of like when I look at the cost of herbs, I've definitely like saved like hundreds of dollars already just on growing basil and like
Yeah.
thyme
And
and
it's so
sage and
it's
stuff.
super simple for
It's
herbs to
so
grow outside.
simple. Even inside, you can grow them in like a window. But
And tomatoes. The upside down topsy, what is it called? Topsy
the
turvy or
topsy
whatever.
turvy one, my mom has that. It works pretty
I
good.
I always wondered if you could grow cannabis upside down on one of those things and having the lights
Probably.
on the bottom instead of the top. You ever think about that? Like I was like, I got into a rabbit hole too, like thinking of how to grow certain things.
I mean, I think you could, but I just don't know if it would be like efficient with
It
space.
just won't be, yeah, it just won't be strong enough, I guess.
Well, I think you might get more leaves than you will buds, you
Okay,
know? So I think that would be the problem. But it's worth a try.
yeah. I don't. I'm still waiting for New Jersey to allow, if you have a card up here, to grow it. Right now, it's just you're just allowed to go and buy it at the dispensary.
It's such a even in Florida, like it's such a it's just such bullshit. Like
It is. I took a whole. I got certified to work in a dispensary here. I got offered a job and everything, and I turned it down because I just thought that I wanted. I'm right now. I'm still working on doing an edible line. I'm really close to like moving to California or Denver to start it up.
Well, California's on fire, so I think Denver would be a
Yeah,
better option.
yeah, be higher up in the mountains.
Yeah.
But there's
But,
so much you could do with it. Like the other day I was reading about this this housewife, like a mom, that's making almost $10 million just making gummy bears.
well, my idea for that was to do the book and then come out with an edible line based on the book,
Yeah,
which is going to be a series of books, but gotta make money first, you know?
yeah. Like in New Jersey, so when I was taking the class to get certified, so I had four business guys in front of me. They own already half the business, like the dispensaries in New Jersey already. And I'm like, how much do you need to start it up? They're like, you need just 2 million in cash first. I'm like, two
Yeah.
million in cash first? Like, what's after that? It's like, well, then you gotta pay, like, you gotta put cash in envelopes and you gotta give it out to people. I was like, oh, okay, it's Jersey. Yeah.
No, but it's like that
But,
everywhere, and it's horrible
but
because it's
yeah, but
all.
then when I went to Cali, I did a personal private like dispensary like cannabis tour where they bring you around to farms and all this and that. And it's just like it's the Wild West out there. It's just like there's certain dispensaries that have licenses, there's some that don't, and it's like they've been there for years, and it's like nobody gives a shit there. It's like
Well, they
if you pay your
do
taxes,
because if you get too big on the,
yeah,
they'll send, they'll call somebody to send the DEA on
yeah.
you. But
But I mean, at that point, it's like you got enough cash somewhere. Like they're paying people $20 an hour just to run cash to like CVS or Walgreens and get a cashier's check. Like that's a job just to run back and forth.
yeah,
That's
and they
crazy. Like
but they have to do
it's
everything in
wild.
cash too because they
Yeah,
can't. But it's also ridiculous because it's so much money to start up with all
yeah,
the legal fees and everything. And like you need a lawyer like on retainer
yeah, for
basically,
sure.
which
That
I'm
or at least have like somebody that's already in it to guide you, through it without kind of like fucking you over.
yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Not someone not taking all your great ideas and fucking you over them with them. You're right. Without having a cut of your business? No.
Right.
So
But I have people that I know that already owns dispensaries in Arizona. So I don't know if it became recreational yet, but they told me that what they do is they just all go in, like they get like a group of people that go in and just buy the license. That's
yeah.
it.
So it's like a
And
co-op.
they just read like they flip the license. So like they'll buy it for like let's say 250,000, and then once it becomes recreational or once a city gives like a permit to open up three more, they'll sell it for like 1 million.
Yeah.
And
It's like a liquor
they'll just pocket
license.
the rest. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, why, dude? Like there's no fun in that. Like, don't you want to have your own like storefront or like your own product line?
I would do a product line because it's less dangerous, basically. Like you need
Yeah,
a warehouse factory and then you don't have to worry about people breaking in, especially when it's like all cash because it's not
yeah,
federally legal. So it's
yeah,
dangerous. But I think once, and also like, I feel like once it's federally legal, like it's still going to be really hard for poor people to get in the game as usual.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like a raffle to see who can have a license.
it's not even a raffle. It's always people that they know. It's
Yeah,
like always it's the 1%. It's all the it's very like
it's like Ohio
it's so rigged.
when they wanted to make it medicinal, or I don't know if it was medicinal or recreational, but the catch was only five families can own it in the whole state.
Well, in New
So what's the
Jersey,
point?
it was three alternative care centers,
Yeah,
north, middle, and south, and it was like the same people owning it.
yeah, and there's no options because it's seed to sale. Like if you plant the seed, then you're selling that in your store. Like you can't sell it anywhere else.
Yeah, and you can't make an edible line and put it
Yeah,
in the
I mean,
store.
yeah, over here you have to be only 18 or under with like a special condition can get edibles. But they get away with like cough drops. for like adults. I'm like, this is so weird. This is so dumb.
It's so
You guys
dumb.
gotta change. You guys gotta change something. I'm like, nobody. You guys don't want to make any tax money. Like it's 2020. Like you guys need money in this state.
I feel like that's gonna be Trump's like last
It's
poll. Like,
like the day before voting. Yeah, I'm gonna make it
yeah,
legal.
yeah. By the way, guys, marijuana's legal now. Vote for me. That's what you're gonna do.
But I like the health benefits like CBD. Oh my god, CBD has. When I first believed CBD worked is when I worked in dialysis. So you know what, like dialysis with the kid, like
Yeah,
they're pretty much dying. Like it's sad. It's the vibe is not cool. Like it's just really. So one of the patients, she was having trouble walking because her ankles will swell up after her dialysis. So I was like, why don't you put CBD cream on it or balm? So I was like, you can just go down the street and grab it from the health store. She did it the next day. She didn't even come in with like her cane or none. She just walked in like a normal person. She's like, hey, that lotion worked really well. I'm gonna get more. I was like cool. Like, all right, it works.
that's
And then
awesome.
yeah, and I met a couple of people in Arizona that a couple of farmers that grow it. They brought me out. It's pretty cool. It's a cool like if you get into the science behind it, there's a lot that we don't know about that can be really
Oh, there's so
beneficial.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, like cancer, like when you talk about fighting cancer with it and like actually beating it with it, like that's something that we need to focus on.
Yeah, among other things, especially now too. Like everyone is so fucking anxious and like
Yeah,
upset. Like,
it's like just I'll write you a script. Just here you go.
I mean,
Get
like just
addicted
get
to
it.
these drugs.
If I get alcohol at the store to calm me down, I should be able to get some weed. You know,
Right.
like that's it's at least it's healthier for me.
Yeah.
Crazy, but I can't even do that because being a flight attendant. And because I wrote the book, I feel like I got drug tested at work. And
It's
people
like, did
started
you
to
write
find out
this?
about got randomly drug tested. But sometimes it's
Have you
weird.
flown to Amsterdam when
No,
you were working? No.
no.
Oh man.
The JFK, when I was JFK, like a couple months after I left JFK, their base got to go to Amsterdam. They started flying
Oh
there.
yeah.
I was like, fuck.
Have you been there like at all or?
No, I've just been to Copenhagen. They have this place called Christiana, which is it's known as Freetown, and it's kind of it's its own country within Denmark, like within the city of
Okay.
Copenhagen. It's like run by hippies. It was an old like military base, so weed is legal there, and that's where everybody buys their weed and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Um, but I imagine Denmark I mean, Amsterdam is pretty similar. I mean, not the same, but
Yeah.
pretty similar.
It was actually fun because
A lot
the
of bikes.
food it was actually a food scene too. So
Yeah.
I did like about 5 food tours with different people. And the first I went there like 3 times. The first time I was there, um, I was doing a food tour and there was no other slots open. So I'm like, yeah, I'll just go with the random family. It was just me. Like I just did a solo trip. So I was like, they're like, it's a family of 3. I was like, yeah, it's fine. Just put me in
It's
there.
fine.
So then like you have to find this corner that everyone meets up at. So it's total of 4 people, including me. So then I get to the corner and I'm sitting there with my Cowboys jersey on. And then I see a family of 3, and I'm like, I wonder if that's like the family that I'm gonna be with. And then the next thing you know, they're from Boston. They're like, hey, you from America? I was like, yeah. How'd you know? The Cowboy jersey? Yeah. They're like, are you waiting for the food tour? I was like, yeah, I'm waiting. So then I
Oh,
was like,
God.
I got to like, I meet them. We talked for a little bit, and then our food guide, she came, and then she ended up being from New Orleans. So I'm like, this is such a weird, like, this 5 Americans in Amsterdam. Like you're bringing us around, teaching us about the food. It was a cool experience.
You should have you been to Copenhagen?
No, not yet.
Oh my God.
That's I have a whole list of places to go after 2020 is done.
Well, I've never been to Noma because I'm poor. But the great
To Nola?
thing, what?
To Nola?
Noma, Noma,
Oh, Noma. They said
the
Nola.
the best, one of the best restaurants in the world. Uh, so but it's in Copenhagen. So all the chefs and stuff that like work there winds up
Yeah.
opening all these little spots in Copenhagen. So the food scene is like amazing. And
Yeah.
everyone's like super into like like locally sourced food and like doing your
Oh yeah.
shit like
You
from
taste it. Like your taste buds are like, all right, this tastes different than what I get back home. It's like straight like everything is like I wouldn't say the produce itself packs so much more flavor in other countries than here, unless
oh
if you grow it
yeah.
yourself. It's like I feel like what is it like the soil or the love you put into it while you're letting it grow, like when you're watering it, or what is it?
Well, they don't
Or the
there's a lot of laws against um what you can or cannot put into your food in Europe. And like so we used to get sent to like Norway a lot, and the place we stayed was in like the middle of fucking nowhere. So the only thing around really to eat besides like the hotel restaurant was there was a gas station and there was McDonald's. And you go into McDonald's and the burger doesn't even taste like it's bad for
yeah,
you, but it was
yeah,
like $30. So it's like
yeah.
this is not what McDonald's is supposed to be. But yeah, they're not allowed to put that shit in the food, which it makes it better. And they also have a lot of laws on their farming practices. So like here we have a lot of GMOs and stuff, which may or may not be good or bad. But we do a lot of like monocultures, whereas in Europe they have way more varieties of tomatoes and corn and
Mhm.
everything you can think of. And they'll change like year to year, which is really cool. I remember when the first time I went to France, I was actually with my college, and I got a bag of clementines,
Mhm.
and I ripped one open on the bus, and it was like the most amazing smell. Like
Oh, the most
people,
juiciest clementine.
yeah, like people were like turning around, like, what is
Wow.
that? Where did you get that? And I'm like, it's clementine. I wound up like just handing them out to everybody on the bus, but it was so good. Like so much different. So I'm really excited about this patio garden because everything's gonna be like, super fresh. I'm just gonna pick it right
Yeah.
off and cook with it. So that's been happening a lot where I'm like, this is amazing. I'm such a good chef. But it's like, no, you just have really good food. So,
That's why Whole Foods costs like an arm and a leg for Apple.
I
I
mean,
was
I
there
don't
yesterday. I mean I want to give it to them. Yeah, I see what you guys are doing, but this is the one thing in Mr. Huggins' class, I will never forget what he said about organic food. He said there's no such thing as organic vegetables and produce. I'm like, why? He's like, I can give you the same two potatoes, but one will just have extra dirt on it, and I'll call it organic. And
I
I would
mean,
never forget that. And then it's always still in my mind. I'm like, am I really paying extra for extra dirt on my produce or what?
well, to now like there are certain certifications where you have to be like 10 years without certain pesticides or actually like no pesticides, and like you have to use organic farming practices, which is
Yeah,
whereas like that's a better something better to buy because you're not going and eating an apple or whatever that's just been like sprayed to death with who knows what, you know? That's you're really paying for them not to do shit to your food. But that usually gives them a lower yield, which increases the price per unit. So
mm,
what I do, I can't wait to get a house because my garden's gonna be amazing. Is like Whole Foods will have like some interesting varieties of shit. So like cherry tomatoes. Like I saw these like they're like dusty rose colored cherry tomatoes.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, that's cool. So I bought them. I ate all of them, but I saved one. And then I scraped all the seeds out and saved the seeds. And now I can grow that plant and I never have to buy that from Whole Foods ever again.
There you go.
So that's
Take
like
that, Whole
nice.
Foods.
Yeah. But they have, they have really good dairy products at Whole Foods if you can like afford it. But there's like certain things where I'll look to see if it's on sale.
Yeah, of course. Like, I should have done that before I got to Whole Foods yesterday. I was trying to get Beyond Meat, and they're selling it for $10 for 2 patties. Like, that's more than actual beef. Like, I'm paying for fake beef.
But I feel
I'm
like
paying more.
Beyond Meat, maybe it's just because it's like White Castle, but I feel like if you go to a Bubba's
Yeah, they came a
supermarket,
long way after that.
I feel like if you go to
I
like
don't
a
even know.
Kroger's,
Yeah, you gotta go. You should actually just buy it from the grocery store. Like they sell it by 2 patties, which it runs you from anywhere. If it's on sale for $5, like I emailed Beyond Meat and I was like, dude, I can't afford to go to Whole Foods and pay $10 for 2 patties. Like, you gotta hook it up. You gotta hook Mr. FlavorSavor up. So then, like 2 weeks later, I got a whole envelope of just free coupons. So then I went to ShopRite and I just took the whole freezer. I'm like, boom, 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 boom. And then I'm just rolling my cart, and this lady's just looking at me like, you must love that
what is
shit.
wrong with this guy?
Like, my total of the whole cart came out to like $3.
She looked at you, she's like, I'm never gonna be a vegan. Oh my god. But I don't trust that Beyond Meat shit. But
You should at least you gotta give it a try.
I mean, I'm sure
Not
it tastes good, but like what? That's gonna do something. Especially like you have
uh,
colitis, I have IBS. Shouldn't be fucking with this shit. Like
I mean, it's made from plants. I mean, I could just say that, like, it's made from plants.
so
So it
you know what
digests
else?
pretty.
You know what else is made from plants? Arsenic.
All right. Oh
There you
man.
go. There you go.
All right. I guess I'll be the guinea pig on this one.
Yeah. 10 years from now, I'll see if you're still alive.
You'll see me cooking with 3 hands.
I mean, that could be a benefit though. But
Maybe that will get me famous, right?
that would definitely get if you just grew another arm.
I'll go back on Master Chef, definitely.
He's too fast. So, where's that? Oh, man.
Have you ever thought about going and competing on a cooking show?
Yeah, yes and no. I just don't think I would be. I feel like they always put the craziest people on those cooking shows. It's like a bunch of crazy people and like 2 like chefs that are the ones that are gonna
They're
win.
gonna be in the final.
Yeah, and then but like it just seems so stressful to be
Yeah,
honest.
I mean, so I was gonna go for my audition in October for MasterChef, the new season.
Yeah.
So I did my video and all that. So they're like, "Yeah, come bring your dish and this and that." At the same time, I'm like deciding if I should, because I'm not that type of guy or cook that you give me a time limit and then I'm gonna make something delicious. Like, no, you can't give me like 30 minutes and you expect me to put out like something with love on the plate. Like, it's just gonna look like a mess. Like, I can't. Like, that stresses me out, being under a time limit. It's like
Well,
45 minutes.
a couple of my friends were on like Iron Chef and Chopped and stuff, and they said like you have I don't know about Chopped, but Iron Chef they give you like 3 different scenarios, and
Okay.
then
Oh,
you
so
find out when you
yeah.
get there, which like they're like if you have beets, tomatoes, and shrimp or something, you're practicing those 3 scenarios, and then when you get there, they're like, okay, the secret ingredients is tomatoes, and then you're like,
Yeah.
okay, go to that scenario, and then you do it. Because when I did one competition for ACF when I was in college, and like you got your recipe and you just had to go in and practice it over and over again, time yourself, and also like figure out where your like holes were, because they were also, they judge you on the cleanliness and everything too.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to like run and do your dishes while something's baking and like all this stuff. So I just practiced over and over again, and I'm like, and I made a Parisian apple tart, and so they had like, you have the technique of the crust, you have the technique of like caramelizing the apples on the stove, and then you also have to bake a custard in the tart. So you showcase a bunch of different techniques for the judges, basically, if you're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, there's no way you could make that, be judged on all those factors. And like, I think I did it in, it might have been 45 minutes, or no, maybe not. Maybe it was. It was a very short period of time. And I watched like, sometimes Chopped, I'm like, okay, if you knew what like everything was in the kitchen beforehand, like
Yeah.
knew where everything was, knew what was in there to use, maybe you could do it. But if you have no idea what's in there, like what, and not just food, equipment, like no way.
Yeah.
Like
Like I'll be that person that opens up the basket, like, okay, I'm done, guys.
yeah.
You guys can do it. It's like, I don't even know where to start. Like, it takes me 10 to 15 minutes just to think about something.
Well, I would like I'd be able to get
I can't
it,
just
but
open it up.
it's just like,
Yeah.
if it's, because like as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, I do this, this, and this, but I don't know if they have like a blast freezer, or all the tools I need to do that.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of like that kind of stuff. So I don't know if I'd do it, but it would be stressful.
Yeah, for sure.
It'd be stressful. And
I
the psychology of reality TV, like they try to stress you out.
Yeah,
And
they
I would,
push you to
yeah.
break. Like, I'm not trying to break in front of Gordon Ramsay. Like, that dude is crazy.
I love Gordon Ramsay. I don't think he's
I,
that
I
crazy.
love Gordon Ramsay, but if I had to cook in front of him, and like, I don't know, I just feel like who would piss me off.
It
Like,
would
he
piss me
would get
off,
under my
but
skin.
I really feel like he only lashes out at people when they're really being stupid.
Yeah.
So as long as you could be like, yeah, I'm sorry, I was being stupid. Like, he's gotta yell at you.
Sorry, chef. Yeah.
Sorry, chef, I'm an idiot. Like, then
It's
you'll be
like
fine.
it's like you got MasterChef and you got his Hell's Kitchen show. It's like totally two different. Like, he goes all in on Hell's Kitchen. That's why I like Hell's Kitchen a lot more than MasterChef.
I don't
Because I
watch
feel like
any of it.
MasterChef.
Cause I watched.
You haven't.
I saw a little bit of the one where he did MasterChef with the kids, which was cool.
Oh yeah.
And then because I saw like the clips on Facebook, and then because I don't have cable, because that's expensive.
Who does?
So I really just watch Netflix. But they give me agita, those shows. But I love Kitchen Nightmares. It's like, I just watch old
Oh
episodes of
my
Kitchen
god.
Nightmares.
That I would have an anxiety attack if I was on that show. I'd be like, oh man. What about Cutthroat Kitchen?
And I never
Have you
saw
ever?
that one. No, I don't
Oh
really
my
watch them
god, check
because
that out.
they're too. I'm like when it comes to those shows, like I don't watch a lot of sports. I watch like UFC from time to time, but like that's about it. So if I'm watching those shows, I get like a crazed sports fan, and I'm like yelling at the screen, "What are you doing? You should have sauteed that. Why are you boiling that? What are you doing?" Yeah, like, so I can't watch it too. I can't watch it too much. It's bad. I should film
Have you
myself watching those shows.
That's a new channel. That might work.
Mukbang
I mean,
that.
there's people watching. There's people just watching other YouTube videos and getting paid to do that. Like, it's just like the amount of stuff you can do.
Oh,
It's
it's
just like a
endless.
trial and error. It's like, all right, Like, do
Well,
this. It
yeah,
doesn't
does this
work. All
work?
right, screw that channel. Let's do another one. Let's do something else. Like that. I don't think nobody did anything on that line where they just watch cooking shows and then just have the reaction. That's something you should really think into.
Oh my god, maybe. It's just so stressful though. I don't know if I want to put
It's like
myself
you
through
get the
that.
anxiety of like, yeah, it's like it's like you put yourself in their shoes. It's like, damn, I got to take that out of the oven now. Like, take it out now.
Hang on. That
Oh
would be
man.
I'd be a great like commentator, I think, on like Iron Chef.
Oh yeah. I would love to be one. That's why, like I said, like I love cooking and critiquing more than actual. I mean, eating and critiquing more than actual cooking.
Because you don't have to do anything. You know?
Exactly. To eat. Like my taste buds, like I always wanted to do the Gordon Ramsay challenge where on Hell's Kitchen they put a microphone, I mean not a microphone, headphone on you and then blindfold you and then he feeds you like these random things and you gotta guess what it is. And then you do like 5 and then you get your score and then the whole team goes and then you're versing the other team. So I feel like my taste buds, like my taste buds, I practice so hard that I could do like, if you gave me like 6 water bottles and made me taste that blindfolded, I could tell you exactly what water that is. Or like if you gave me sodas, I'll tell you exactly what soda that is, like brand and everything.
You know, you might want to try being a
Yeah.
sommelier, like studying wine then, if you're that good at that.
Uh, nah, I hate
That's kind
wine.
of what? Well, basically, here's the thing. Like you can apply that to anything and call it like
Yeah.
sommelier. Like they do that with water. Like
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
if your nose and your taste buds are like that on point, you could just be like you can make so much money off that shit. Like do it.
Yeah,
Do it on
I'm
hot
thinking
sauce.
about,
There you go.
oh man, I wish I can't eat hot sauce like that anymore. I'll make it. I can't eat it.
Oh my god. But I
Like
don't
I
like
have a
hot
whole
sauce that's too
collection.
hot.
Yeah, I have just like ridiculous from all my travels. Like I need like my suitcase will always have hot sauce in it from anywhere I travel to, and I'll just leave it
Cool.
like on the shelf, like as a little, oh, I got it from there, but I never tried it. I got it from there. It's the story behind it.
That's cool. Alright. I get magnets. That was cool. But
Is there like any place in the world that, as in street food wise, that you trying to go and like taste?
I mean, I always try to go with the street food, but the problem with the street food and the shellfish allergy is like when it came to Thailand, I didn't really have any street food because I was in this ocean town, Krabi, and everything had seafood around it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when I got a trip to Bangkok, and which was actually awesome because one of the guys I went to pastry school with, he's actually on Iron Chef Thailand right now. He's Thai, and I got to go
Oh
visit
wow.
him. And he, so I went out to eat with him, but before that, we had a Thai base of crew members, and I was flying. I saw one of the ones I knew in the like hotel airport lobby.
Hmm.
Jenny, she's really cool. She has her own like Thai like fitness Instagram now, so we're not working anymore. She's cool. But
Right.
there was this huge like food market next to the hotel. So she took me, and because she speaks Thai or whatever the language is, I don't really know what it's called. But they she was able to
I
say
don't
like,
know either.
"Hey,
So
yeah, I don't want to like hurt anybody's feelings,
yeah.
but like I don't know what it's called." But so she was able to like communicate with them and me and make sure like there's no shellfish because like she had wrote it down for me, but she was explaining to me like there's not one word for shellfish. Like you have to list everything like octopus, squid, shrimp, clams, oysters, like, and they're like they don't understand. So she went down the list and she actually we wound up like eating like more on the safe side with like the sweets and stuff. And
Mm.
that was really cool. I had like a couple things I didn't like. So there's this coconut thing I didn't like. It was like wrapped up in a leaf, and she's like, "You're gonna love this." And I put it in my. I was trying not to look like I hated it, but I was like,
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
and she just laughed at me. But yeah, so it's really difficult with the allergy to do that. But and it's also difficult because a lot of other countries have eat insects too, and if you're,
Yeah, I'm not really into that. That's
I
like Andrew Zimmerman.
I mean, I would try it, but the thing is, like, they found if you're allergic to shellfish, you're also allergic to cockroaches. So, which is very interesting. So, like, I don't know what else I would be
Hell,
allergic to. So I'm like really concerned that like if I try something extreme like that, like
yeah,
I don't really care what it tastes like, but I'm just not trying to die, like,
yeah. If
or
you,
take
I
an
mean, if you
EpiPen.
ever, I mean, if you ever get the opportunity to go to India, that is one place where you could just like it's just never ending food on the street. Like, and there's all vegetarian too at certain areas where you go to, and the more south you go down, the more like seafood you get.
Okay.
So you just stay in the capital and you could spend a whole week just eating. Like, just go there, come back like 20 pounds heavier just by eating a vegetarian food. Like, my sister went there. Like, my sister eats meat and all that. She went there. She came back a vegetarian. She's like, "Oh my god, I didn't know there was so many vegetarian dishes. Like, we don't need meat." I was like, "Cool." It's just like I love it. The flavor, the produce, the flavors is just like never ending, and there's always something new that I never had.
Oh
You could
yeah,
go
the
back
colors.
a million times and always find something new.
Yeah, that whole area, like, I haven't been to. I feel like I wanna go everywhere, there's no, but especially
Yeah,
now, I'm, like, going stir crazy, but, it's yeah, it's crazy. I'm so used to just like, "Okay, see you later," and now I'm just here. I feel like
just
I'm
trying
just,
to.
like, perpetually, like, waiting, like, for my next trip. No. That's not happening. But, that would yeah, it would be cool to go there, and there's a lot of, like, when I was flying to, like, Europe and Scandinavia, if we had, like, a 3-day layover or something, which was pretty rare, and it usually only occurred in, like, Norway where you can't afford to do anything. So,
Yeah, it's so
uh,
expensive.
yeah, so, like, I mean, I never had any money to, like, even go and do this stuff, but people would go, and since we had 3 days, they would take a flight to, like, Prague or to, just like the like Eastern European countries, and they'd like go explore there for
Mm.
a day, and they would come back, and then they would go work the flight. So like, and they would tell me all about the food there, and like, there's just I feel like it's I'm one of those people that wants to like have the map and like have a pin in like every country, you know?
Yeah, though. Well, they have the one where it's like you put it up and it's like the lottery scratch off. So you just scratch off where you went
Oh, that's cool.
instead of putting a pin on it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like all gold, and then when you scratch it, it like turns into another color, telling you that you went there, and it like breaks up each country, like what part you went to.
That's really cool.
So that's like a bucket list, like just to go to every country, eat
I,
something in every country or every region of one country.
yeah, but you also like I feel like when you go to other countries, it's good to like know someone there to get like
Yeah.
a
So
guide.
yeah, that's why YouTube is like such a good like gateway to meet people in other countries. Like I stopped reading my emails because there's just so many people are like, you gotta come here, you gotta come here, like come here and I'll bring you like to all these places. Like we could do it on camera. I was like, are you gonna kill me? Like
Are you gonna
Can
kill
I come
me?
back?
But most of it too is like they're just so proud of their culture and where they live and stuff. Like they want to share it. Like, I mean, I'm
Yeah,
sure you do, and I do. Like that's why we have YouTube channels. So,
yeah.
not the
But
American.
now it's like now it's different now. So it's like what do we like? It's a new normal now. So it's like once like international flights really pick up and everyone's like traveling again, it's like how do you go about that? Do we talk through the mask or
Yeah, you
it's
wear a
like just
mask.
like with the Master Chef audition? It's like is
Oh,
the whole
true.
show like are we all wearing a mask or a shield or how does that work? Like, are you gonna taste our food after we cook it? Like
Well,
it's not the same no more.
yeah, just like 6 feet apart. Like, it tastes your food because they do it in Thailand right now. I'll show you because G is pretty awesome. I should link his Instagram too. Well, that guy's wearing the wrong kind. Actually, they're not. Oh, when they're cooking, they're wearing a mask. So he's got like this little like shield on. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh snap!
But
Is that just covering his? Is that like his whole face, or is
no,
it
it's
just
just
like?
like up here. Let me see if I
Hmm.
can find a better one. But I saw it and I was like, that's weird. Oh, that's bad.
Oh, okay. So only when he's looking down, it really.
Yeah, so when he goes like
I never.
to do the food stuff, I guess it's like a spit guard for that.
Yeah,
And they're kind of far away from each other, but it's also Thailand, so the sanitation is a
I mean
lot different.
it's.
It's
Oh yeah, I know.
a lot different there.
It makes you appreciate what you have back here.
Yeah. He was like,
It
"Oh, what?"
also opens up your eyes. Like it makes you more. I would say, like for me, traveling the world, they really opened up like what I really need in life and what I don't need in life. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to explain it. It just opens your eyes up to more. Like it's like you're not in your bubble anymore. Like it's like, oh wow, like you have all that. Like this is all going on in the world as we speak. It's like
Yeah.
I never thought that way. You know, I always thought like everything was like what we do here, and then you go to another country and it's like, what? Like you
Yeah, they're
drive on
like,
another side? Like how does that even work? Like
"Oh yeah."
how do you not crash into each other? Just like the simple things.
The thing in
Not just that.
Thailand that got me the most, and then when I was in America afterwards, I was just like laughing to myself. They don't they don't really use toilet paper. Like they have
Oh, yeah, that was got me. That was like the first thing. Like when I landed, like this was like when I was 12 years old and I landed in India. I tried using the bathroom at the airport. First of all, I was like, "How does this work?" Because it looks like you got to sink in the ground. Like, how does this work? What does this hose do?
Well,
So I'm guessing I sprayed this.
my question is, maybe you can answer this for me. You use because they still in Thailand they had the toilet paper, but you had to put it like in the garbage, and then you had like you
Oh,
couldn't flush
okay.
it, and then they had the spray hose. So
Yeah.
once you do the spray hose, number one, I feel like it's like the water fountain where you have that like gross person that puts their mouth on the water fountain. Like there's got to be that guy that
Oh,
puts the hose on their asshole. But then
oh.
also, I'm wondering, like once you spray yourself, like how do you dry off? Like, is there always toilet paper? Is the toilet paper for dry off and then you throw it out? Like I don't.
It's a hand blower, but it's built in
There is no hand blower
the
in this
ground.
situation.
It's like, you ever use a bidet? Like that, I remember the first time I used a bidet. I was like, "Whoa, what the hell?" And
Well, maybe I
it's
just
an
didn't
experience. I think
stay
everyone.
long enough for the blow dry because I didn't think it was coming. I was just like, what the fuck?
Oh man.
Uh, was off topic. Oh, that's definitely staying in there though. That's hilarious. But there's a blow dry? I had no idea. There was no blow dry. This is a regular toilet. I don't know what they did. Maybe G could comment on this and tell me. But
There's definitely like an explanation behind it, like a whole story.
I feel like they should almost put like instructional pictures, like in the stall.
How to guide.
Like
It's
that
like
would be
when you
helpful.
close the door, it's like a whole like, it's like step 1, step 2, step 3.
Because they had like a million signs for like don't put the toilet paper, like pictures in the toilet, like don't do that. But they don't tell me what to do. So you can't ask anybody.
Like you're telling me what not to do, but tell me what to do.
Exactly. That'd be really helpful. Sorry guys, we were having some technical difficulties with my mic on this part of the recording. We started talking about censorship on YouTube. That's where we left off.
You can't have too many rules in the kitchen now.
No. And I feel like cursing in the kitchen is like, that's what you do.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, I worked in the kitchen for like 10 years. Like, dude, like, you just hear the shit that we say back there. Like, about every customer, every server, the managers, like everybody. Talk shit about everybody.
So many people.
It's like you never saw the movie Waiting? Like, it's like that.
Yeah, you just have to go back and forth. Like, chefs are some of the funniest people I know. Because you just, and vicious. Like, you have to have that, like, silver tongue.
Exactly. And then I just like, you know, like I like having my own flair to things, especially if you have your own YouTube channel. Like you want to keep it you, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be someone else. Like you want to be you. Like you want to. That's the reason why I started it. It's like there has to be like you could know all the information about cooking, but you could have the shittiest personality, and no one will watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like we build a network of people that are like you can collaborate with and like do like-minded stuff with. That's, you know, it'll make your whole circle of that network just like grow.
Exactly. So Instagram is one thing that I'm really slacking on. Like I haven't posted in so long, where I really got to keep up with it. It's so hard to like keep up with all these social media accounts and then like, respond to people, and it's like man, it's like another job, you know. That's why I want to just focus on this more than, you know, what I do during the day.
I'm trying to figure out how to, like, I figured out how to like schedule the videos. All the Instagram stuff, it actually seems like easier to do on your desktop when it comes to like IGTV. Like what I started doing this week was because I have like 50 videos now. So now that
that's good.
I have like content, what I'm gonna do is like once my videos get like a month old or something, then they can go into like the Facebook bin. So this way I constantly have something going on Facebook, because I feel like because I'm a girl and all that other shit, my target audience is on Facebook, like swapping recipes and recipe groups and stuff. Like I get a lot of people from there, a lot of traffic from that. So if I can, but my problem is I really can't afford to buy ads. And Facebook had already shut down my account to buy ads because of the Verde book, which was ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Because it's a book. It's not, I'm not, they had all these ads for Houseplant, which is Seth Rogen's marijuana company. And I can't sell a book. I was so pissed. But there's nobody to talk to say like, hey, I've wrongfully been banned, because I was. And I even tried to post ads that had nothing to do with marijuana. And like I made a joke about like something on Netflix or something, like nothing to do with it, and they like reported it for like illegal substances. And I'm like,
Yeah,
so
it's
it took
yeah.
them a year and 2 months to unban me.
Wow.
So like any hope I had for selling that book was like, fuck you, because I never had any money for advertising. My whole idea was to go around social media, and then it just eliminated my reach because a lot of people I'm friends with on Facebook or Instagram don't smoke pot, so I can't just rely on that, you know?
Yeah.
So
So that I was having so I wanted that's what I wanted to do, like transition over, just have a channel just on that, because
yeah.
you have like your regular cooking channel. There's people that are watching it that are probably really offended by that stuff too, and
Yeah.
then you don't want to lose them also. So it's hard to please everybody that watches your videos.
I don't want to
So
lose
that's why,
them, but I want to educate
yeah,
them.
yeah.
I want to try
It's
to
like
educate
it's
them.
yeah. So um yeah. So I definitely want to do we gotta do some in the future. Like I'll definitely pick like one of your recipes. I could like recook, shout you out. Definitely need the book. You still selling the hard copies?
Yeah, they're on Amazon. I think they're like down to like $7 or something now, right now. But I was wearing, so I have this shirt I made and it says "Be blunt" on it, and then it's got like the symbol with the pineapple marijuana thing. So I was in Whole
Oh,
Foods
nice.
buying eggs because those vital eggs were on sale, and the cashier was like, "I like your shirt." So telling him about the book, and I was trying to pull it up on his phone on Amazon, and it wasn't like showing, and he had to like Google me to find it. I was like, "What the fuck?" Ridiculous, but it's on Amazon.
Yeah, just send me the link. I'm gonna buy that right now so I could like have it in the background in my videos. So somebody will be like, "What is that?" I'll be like, "Oh, thank you for asking."
Yeah, $7 and
Let me get
47
into it.
down from 35.99. Oh man, it's so bad. Cause how do I do that? I'm gonna do it from my computer. Cause then I can give you my Amazon Stripe and make a commission off of it.
Oh, I found it. Oh, only 4 left in stock. Order
They're
soon.
lying. They're lying. It's like every time they sell one, they print it. So like, there's only one in stock when you buy it. Makes no
Wait,
sense.
hold up.
I'm gonna put it in chat.
Oh, it's Prime too. I'm gonna get it in 2 days.
In 2 whole days.
Place order.
I would recommend you should try making the brownies because you're bad at baking.
I just bought it. I'll get it in 2 days.
Also,
Yeah, I'll definitely make some out of it because I already made coconut oil. Like I have a jar already, so I don't know
oh,
if you got.
the brownies is perfect for that. You don't have to use. You
Yeah,
could use butter, but you could use all oil. Doesn't matter. There's a lot of things you can do with that. That's what I was thinking actually. Indian food with marijuana, like cooking, is probably the best thing to do with it. That's what I think.
because they use a lot of oil. If you use clarified butter,
Yeah, ghee.
there's clarified butter in every single thing you eat. That's
Yeah,
Indian.
and I think if you could
Just
do. Oh, you didn't go lift, huh? All right. If you do, what was I gonna say, frozen dinners with the proper doshes, like that's what I was thinking with Indian food. That would be
so
sick.
I was. It's funny how you brought that up because that was one of my first things to make gourmet meals like frozen, like and just have it at dispensaries. Like you sell to all the dispensaries, and they just buy like it's just like meal prep, but it's in the frozen, and they just take it, pop in the microwave, eat, have fun, and then get hungry again and eat another one of yours.
Well, that'll get dangerous. You gotta have like, you gotta have like the dosage one, and then one that's like for later that is just for the munchies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One
like
one that's wrapped in green and one that's not wrapped in that color.
yeah, we gotta think of a different color. But yeah, that would be perfect. But I think Indian food would be perfect for that. Or like
Yeah, for sure.
how they're crossing like Indian food with Mexican food now. Like if you did like a chicken tikka masala burrito that was in the frozen section.
Yeah. Yeah, I had
Um,
it in LA. I had it at a gas station. If you look it up, I'll send you the link for the video, but that's one of like the most famous Indian food is at a gas station. And it's literally all the Indian food, but they'll just wrap it into a burrito. So I was like, holy shit, this is so good. Like, why didn't I think of this? This is like the most simplest thing you could think of makes the most money.
oh yeah. I went to
As long as it tastes good, right?
when I lived in Philly, there was it's not, I mean, it's Pakistani food, which is a little similar, but this guy opened an ice cream parlor. It was crazy, but what a character. It was all lassies and
Okay.
chat.
Yep.
Lassies, chat, and gulab jamun.
Oh my god, those are the best three.
uh,
That's it? That's all he
that's
sold?
it. That's all he sold. And he made like the lassies where like he had all these like purees made and like other like
Okay.
he had one that was like candied rose petals. It was really good that he would put in the lassies. And so you would just pick like whatever flavors you want. Like I'll go there all the time. It was in West Philly, the Mood Cafe. There's like he painted the building like bright orange, and he was like, he was like, you have to learn about this. You're a chef. So I would like just go in and shoot the shit with him. He was like, I don't remember his name. He had like a really bad toupee. He's a funny guy. But it was like his dream to have like this. He called it an ice cream shop, but it wasn't. I was like, there's no
Yeah.
ice cream in here. but like, everyone loved it. It was really fun. I love lassies. That would be a good one for marijuana.
Yeah. They if you go to certain places in India, they make this drink like with milk and cinnamon and all the spices with the cannabis in it. Yeah. I don't know if you saw the episode with Anthony Bourdain when he went in the desert and he drank it and he's just chilling on the camel in the desert of India, just like daydreaming and talking out of his mind.
I gotta go back and like find it.
Yeah, that's the one. That was one of my favorite episodes.
I'm sure I watched it and I didn't
Actually,
even like.
I met him before too. I don't know if you ever met him.
What? No, I would.
Guess where I met him.
Wait.
It's at Rudd's hut.
Oh, when he was filming the
The
episode,
not when he was filming. He was just there, like
he was just
eating
there
by himself.
because Rutt's
I'm
Hut is
like,
amazing.
that dude looks like Anthony Bourdain. I'm sure that's Anthony Bourdain. So I went up to him. I was like, yeah, bro, that's you. And then he was so cool. Like I was like, I'm not gonna take a picture or nothing. Like I just want to tell you, man. Like I'm like you're one of your biggest fans. I read all your books. Like keep like And then I asked him. I was like, what was your most like hated episode or the most like place that you went to that you didn't like? And he told me when he went to Kerala, India, and I went to Kerala, India. And he's like, I was like, why'd you hate it? He goes like, because when he was on the houseboat, like there was no power, like there was bugs. He couldn't even cook his food. Like it ruined his vibe. He said. I was like, all right, I'll keep that in check. I'll keep that in mind when I go.
Oh my god! Wow, that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, that was
after
cool. So
he was always my favorite, and then he started doing jujitsu. I was like, "Are you just trying to steal my life?" I don't know. I was like, "What?" And then when he died, I was also in France the same day.
oh no.
I was like,
What?
wow.
I remember when I first heard that. I was literally rereading his Kitchen Confidential, his book. I was reading it and I was on break, and I'm like, I get a message. I'm like, no fucking way. Like, what's the chances of that? I mean, he did drop like over 600 hits of LSD, but I don't know if that
Yeah,
had
but still,
anything to do with
man,
it.
I don't know. I think he found out something we don't know about. Like,
Like, oh, that's what we gotta do. All right.
that's like the someone had the joke. You know it's bad when that guy kills himself. And I'm just like, true. So, like, now he'll just be my spirit animal. It's okay.
Oh man.
All right, guys. So thanks for watching Chef Grace's Place. If you want to check out Mr. Flavor Saver, just look him up on YouTube, and I'll
Yep.
put the info in the description, and I'll probably put it on the screen too. And this is fun, and let's do this again. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. We're definitely doing this again. Definitely gonna make a video on one of your recipes for sure.
Yeah.
Just order your book. So we'll see.
You gotta
Once I get it,
do
we'll do some.
brownies. You gotta do something with baking, because I'm not convinced that
Yeah.
you're a horrible baker. I wanna see you bake
We'll see.
something now. All right. I'll see you later.
All right. Thank you.